What is going on, YouTube, Power Ranger fans, and collectors out there? If you guys are new to the channel, then make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell with all notifications on to never miss out on another video in the multiverse of Power Rangers every single week. Also, don't forget to follow me and check me out on my Instagram, Twitter, and X page. Links will be in the description down below. So, to start things off, we got an update from Dan, the Legacy of Nerd, on his Facebook page, showing this image or screenshot, showing that the Re-Ignition line is slowly starting to pop up on Amazon with pre-orders. And he also did mention in this second little screenshot that they will be released in the first week, such as, September 1st. These are the only pre-orders that we have up on Amazon so far. Now, I don't know if they're like unavailable or something, because that's what it would normally say. Like if you're like trying to find anything Power Rangers or Marvel related, like it would say currently unavailable. It did say that yesterday for the blue flip head figure, but either way, I will put the links in the description down below for the Automorphin black, yellow, and blue figures. I don't know if they bumped up the price due to tariffs on the Sabertooth Tiger Dinozord. I think they were supposed to be $18.99 or $19.99. I'm not sure. If it was $18.99, then let me know in the comments down below. Now, I definitely plan on ordering the 6-pack, which I think that's going to be an exclusive of some sort. We don't know if it's going to be Amazon or Walmart or Target. Either way, I plan on getting it whatsoever. Definitely plan on getting my beautiful girlfriend Julia the individual release version of the basic blue figure and the flip head. Also plan on getting her the Power Morpher as well, since that me and her do so many nice things for each other. Well, speaking of the Power Morpher, that's the one thing I plan on pre-ordering first, even though they wouldn't arrive until like September 3rd or 5th, as shown on the image or screenshot, whatever. Very massive thanks and shout out goes out to Dan, the Legacy of Nerd, for talking about this on his Facebook post. I'm gonna start posting more content like this more often, like giving you guys updates or news about the whole Re-Ignition line. Well, speaking of other updates and news on the Re-Ignition line, up in Argentina, they're starting to get the Re-Ignition line. Got a closer look at the Green Auto flip-head figure. It looks like the Dragon Shield will have a bit of a more shinier paint job. Now, that I will show the screenshot somewhere over here from the user, even though I forgot what his username was. But yeah, I definitely plan on getting red, black, and green for myself. The Power Morpher. But the Blade Blaster, I plan on getting that later on down the line due to the whole tariffs, which explains why the flip head figures and the masks are now $10.99. Now, I feel like the masks were originally supposed to be $9.99, which were, the original price for the Automorphin flip head figures. But to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's whatever. I'm still getting the Morpher, the 6-pack of the figures. Blade Blaster, later on down the line once they put pre-orders up for that. I mean, if I remember correctly, I believe the Blade Blaster and Dragon Dagger were going to be like around $20 for $19.99. Now, even though most of the Re-Ignition line that was shown at New York Toy Fair from like back in the first week of March, which was like the 1st or 2nd, I believe, it had like those little 2026 stands. Now, we don't know if the Dragon Dagger and those like micro mini figures and stuff like that will be for spring of 2026. I'm just doing all the speculations, theory, predictions, or whatever. But if it is spring of 2026, then you guys can either thank me or someone else for starting that fan prediction. As of right now, I don't have the batteries in it yet. But I will do a comparison of this Morpher with the new Morpher, even though it does have some paint details missing. Now, the one thing I'm kind of sort of not liking about the new Morpher is that there's like 2 red buttons on the top, and one of them is the button to like open or close the Morpher, which is very irritating to me. Even though some of their like Dino Fury and Beast Morphers toy line didn't really have like an on and off switch, I'm hoping they do that for the Blade Blaster, Dragon Dagger, some of the other roleplay items and stuff, such as, the Morpher specifically. I do remember seeing a post like a while back ago saying that they might do more Mighty Morphin stuff for the next 2 to 3 years. And if they do actually end up doing that, then I might just consider getting the Tiger Zord, Dragon Zord, it would be awesome if they tried to do a re-release version of their Playmates Morpher, but for like Tommy, like green/white ranger, because the Dragon Dagger, as we all know, comes with a Dragon Sword coin, which will make some sounds in the new Morpher. So I guess we have to wait until 2026 or maybe spring of 2026 for those to be released. I'm really hoping they do more than just Mighty Morphin after the next 2 to 3 years, if that does end up happening. As of right now, we're like all not sure if it's true or not. But in other news or updates-ish, I'm currently working on some more custom figures, such as a custom repainted version of my VHS Blue. I'm going to be repainting the Downsider Blue head from the Beast Morphers 3-pack gold. Now, I'm not going to be using my new metallic gold paint marker, but I'm mostly going to be using the Radiant Gold Craft Smart acrylic paint. I don't know where I put the metallic White Ranger head or helmet at. I know it's somewhere in one of my little containers or boxes where I put like all the Lightning Collection accessories and heads at. But it was going to be like a Mighty Morphin White Ranger type of fusion with Ryu, such as the morphed Crimson Hawk Ranger. Now, just from looking at it like this, it reminds me of this one fan art that I've seen before on like Pinterest. I think his name was like Arts of something or whatever on Instagram or whatever, but he did like a concept of like a Mighty Morphin White and Down Thunder Black fusion, even though that's what it looks like, to be honest. But this was supposed to be like a Titanus type of themed Mighty Morphin White Ranger, since that the Titanus was like the carrier Zord. Now, I don't know how they would do a Titanus or the Tor Shuttle Zord if they make like the Season 2 characters and Season 3 into the ReIgnition line. If they ever did like re-releases of the basic figures for a Season 3, I would still get them even if it's metallic Rangers. Or the flip-head figures of like Rocky, Adam, Aisha, Cat, Billy, Tommy White Ranger, Tommy Basic White Ranger for like Season 2 and stuff. I would still buy it either way, without a doubt, no matter what other fans or collectors say. But the new basic figures of that 6-pack is definitely a must-have in my opinion, even though it took some time for me to collect the whole team of the VHS Ranger figures, even though they were Walmart exclusives. But the only difference compared to the VHS figures with the new basic figures is mostly just the articulation and maybe the accessories, even though when it came to like the Walmart exclusive figures, they had like the same blade blaster, but like not painted, but they had it like in the blade mode for like pink and red or something like that, but for yellow and blue and black, it was like in the blaster mode. But with the new basic figures, they're pretty much doing like both versions of the blade and the blaster form with their like primary weapons, like the power axe and stuff like that. I just can't wait to get my hands on those. I don't care how many times I say it, but I mean it. But as we all know, the new Morpher will have like more than 40 plus sounds and phrases. It would have been fun if I had the packaging still for the Lightning Power Morpher, but I threw that out like a couple years back. But I will also be doing a comparison with like the packagings to the VHS figures to the new ones once I get the 6-pack. There was another custom figure that I was also currently working on, which is going to be like a custom Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Gold, even though I'm using the legs to my metallic Black Ranger figure, since I did a review on the remastered Black Ranger figure like a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago. I don't know, but if you guys have not seen the review of the remastered Black or the morphed Crimson Hawk, then feel free to check out that video after or before this video or whatnot. Now, I think this was from last year of 2024 or this year, but I remember my mom or dad, no wait, technically this was back from like December of 2024 if I'm correct, but one of them bought me like this like Green Ranger type of ornament. So I was like, you know what, why not turn it white and gold, White Dragon themed? So I technically used my green metallic paint marker on the shield and like the cuffs. I tried doing it like movie inspiration wise, but I will be keeping the green on like the cuff parts for the arms, even though the arm is slightly loose. I had to use like the worst-ish white acrylic paint I had. I might paint this part. No, I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. But I've seen like people do like awesome cosplay suits of like a red version or a white version of a Green Ranger helmet, like with the mouth part gold. These parts are gold and this part being gold as well, like, you know, from the Fighting Spirits Green Ranger figure. Oh, I did want to point out one thing is that I still don't know how to pronounce the guy's username on X, but I did like some sort of community tab post of like showing off more screenshots or images he posted from like a month and a half or two ago, showing off one of the images of like what wave 2 of the monster figures would be, which will be King Sphinx, Squat, and Babu, which will be the wave 2 figures for the monsters. We don't know if there's going to be like a wave 2, wave 3 type of thing for the Ranger figures. That'd be interesting. Surprisingly, they did not show or say anything about a Lord Zed or the Bones villain character, which I'm kind of sort of surprised about that, but it's just not that big of a deal because I'd rather stick with the Lightning Collection or the Dino Fury version of the Lord Zed figure, which was from the Face-Off pack. I almost said the Showdown pack. My mistake. I also added some gold touches on my Power Morpher buckle. To be honest, I might just either keep it this way or just, I don't know, use rubbing alcohol to like get the gold off. Even though it kind of sort of resembles a little bit of Zoo Ranger vibes, even though pre-orders are still up for the Memorial Edition Dino Buckler, I think. I don't know, but I know it's like 200 something bucks. I mean, as you guys remembered from my Masters Zenshi review, that was like my first ever... What the heck? Okay, I heard something. Oh wait, that was like a Lego piece. I was like confused what I heard. I also finally found my Lord Dragon Shield, so I might just throw that back on my Green Ranger figure. Well, my custom repainted metallic green. Well, I did also add some gold touches to that as well, so I might as well go and grab it. Now, I mostly added paint details on like mostly the helmet itself to make it kind of sort of look like the bat in the sun type of green and gold, like what I did to the Christmas ornament I had. For a second I thought some of the, yeah, I was right, some of the paint is starting to rub or come off, so I might have to use my rubbing alcohol to like get the gold off of here. I mean, that's what I hate sometimes when you use paint markers or acrylic paint when the paint would start rubbing off. Thank God I didn't paint these parts gold. Wait, hold on, have I? Okay, technically I did, so I'll probably use the rubbing alcohol to try to get the gold off the boots and the arms. I might have to use like some of those cotton swabs or whatever, but you guys get what I mean. But this is going to wrap up today's video on this not so quick-ish Re-Ignition toy line update of like most of the stuff being on Amazon for the pre-orders, like, you know, popping up on Amazon slowly, one by one. But like I mentioned from the start of the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell with all notifications on to never miss out on another video every single week. Links will be in the description down below for the pre-orders, Instagram, Twitter, and X page. And until next time, you guys, I will see you later in the next video. And also, it's Morphin time! Tyrannosaurus!